and welcome to yet another amazing episode. My name is Jacinta. If this is your first time here, karibu sana, welcome. Please subscribe, like this video, and give it a huge thumbs up. Actually, it's one and the same thing. And don't forget to share it with somebody who would love to hear this information. And which information is that? The information that I'm giving in May is more of my insight, but more of also my principles and more of the lessons that I've taken in the past 33 years. Yeah, I just turned 34. So I'll be telling you about the things that I've gone through, right? So, karibu sana, welcome. So, if you have a younger sister or probably anyone that you would like to share this with, for me, I learned it in my 30s. For somebody else, and especially so many women that I get to interact with, I know some of them, sadly, even in their 40s and 50s, they have not learned this. So, I may not really base it on lessons that you should learn in your 30s, but for the sake of the younger person who is watching this, whether you're in your 20s or early 30s, you need to hear this information because I wish that I had actually learned it before. But hey, this is what 30s is about, right? They say 30 and fine years. This is what 30s is all about. And if you have not learned about it and you're in your 40s and 50s, there's still room for growth, right? You might want to adapt a thing or two. So, what are these things? Number one, self validation. This is huge. I have spoken to so many women who, until now, are still seeking outside validation. And what is outside validation? It is why you're constantly asking people to just hear their own opinion about what they think. Is it about the way you look? Is it about your choices, your decisions? And this sadly has made so many women get stuck in toxic relationships. Yes, I'm all about relationships, and after toxic relationship is my specialty. Yeah. So this is one of the major things that I know I struggled with in my 20s. I know it made me stuck. I know it has made me sometimes hold back from doing some things, probably because somebody felt like it was not the right time for me. But stepping into my 30s, honestly, I have tried so much to live by this type of principle, and it has opened so many doors for me. Yeah, get into it. Remember, it is only you who can keep yourself together, who will take responsibilities for your mistakes. So, despite having worked with women who are stuck in toxic relationships in the past, I always told them something. I will never be able to tell you walk out of a toxic relationship, because if you're looking for somebody to tell you that, trust me, you will leave. And if it was not your choice, the chances of you going back are really high. So, self trust, self validation, go all in with it. Go all in no matter what happens, for better, for worse, whether it's good or it's not, we'll take the lessons. And if it worked out, kudos for you, right? So, this was the number one and biggest principle that I have been living with since I stepped in my 30s. Yeah. Lesson number two, compete only with yourself. I know it's very, what do I say? It can actually be something that you live with, especially right now in the social media era, where you're thinking that everybody is ahead of you, and especially in our 30s, we have so much pressure to feel like by the age of this 30, you need to be married, by 35, you need to have had your kids. And I talked about this in one of my Facebook posts, where I talked about this invincible clock that society has sometimes put upon us. I don't know where you come from, and please let me know in the comments below where you're joining me from. But from where I came from the age of 25, you were supposed to be married. And if you are not in your 30s, you have so much pressure, and sometimes this pressure leads you to get into very compromising situations. You might just picky ponky in life and end up picking even the wrong partner, right? So compete only with yourself and nobody else. The person that you were last year, is it a better version, or do you still need to put in more effort? Do not look at Jacinta, do not look at Mary Summer, do not look at anybody else, because my dear, if only you knew what they have to fight, you'll be like, thank you, I'm keeping the life that I have. Yeah. So that was huge for me in my 30s, and I'm still looking into that every single day, and especially because I'm on the social media spectrum, having moved. I'm also trying, this is also very vulnerable of me to share this. Having moved into this new country, it took a turn. It also took a beating on my confidence at some point, but I had to remind myself, Jacinta, your only competition. So I would urge you, wherever you are watching me, think and remember this statement next time before you start being too hard on yourself. And speaking of being too hard on yourself, point number 3, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And I did this topic with my March cohorts recently, where we were just talking about forgiveness. And I know that this is a huge topic because I see how many people struggle with it. Things that you might have done in your 20s and felt like they pulled you back, people that you let into your life, the people that you tolerated, the people that you let walk all over you, use you, misuse you, you have to be willing to forgive yourself and say that is the past and move on to this bigger and brighter future that it's the unknown. I always say sometimes you think of the unknown as something very scary, right? But what if you thought of it as an adventure? What if you thought of it like the best thing that could happen to you? Yeah. Think of it as something, a new ground or a new chapter in your life. Yeah. Life as an adventure. It can have its ups and downs. You will sometimes even find yourself something unexpected, right? You can find yourself in a different career than you knew. You can find yourself in a totally different space than where you were last year. And that is exactly what life is all about. So do not be afraid of change and actually embrace it. Yeah. So for me, point number 3, honestly, has been and especially being a person who is very adventurous, it has been an exciting journey. It has been an exciting path, and I still keep looking forward to this adventure in general called life, right? Number 4, self-love. Self-love, and that is a non-negotiable. I came to learn, and this was in my early 30s, that the word selfless, yeah, is actually not a compliment but an insult. I know what you're thinking, right? We all think that, when you're selfless, that's when you're considered heroic, you're considered to be a humble, a good person. But just think of it. Selfless. It's lack of self. And what does that mean? If you're not campaigning for you, who's campaigning for you? Let's be very honest. Even when you have a partner, when it comes down to between you and them, they will always choose them. And everyone who is in your life, they're there for some sort of convenience. Yeah, apart from the kids, I know you will say that, and I know this is up for debate, right? Even your children will grow up and they might choose themselves. Not that they might, they actually will. They'll choose the career path that they want, they will choose their partners. If you have taught your kids to be in an independent person, they will automatically lean onto their partners more than you as their mom. So, when you have no one else to campaign for you, when it comes down to between me and my kids, I know they will choose them, and that is how I want them to be. I want them to learn that they come first, right? When it comes to my partner and me, he's his own individual, he's his own person. I am my own person. So learning that I have to put myself first, learn when I'm experiencing burnout, learning when to say no, learning when what works out for me and what doesn't, that was huge. And I still live by this. I am my biggest campaigner. So what does that mean? I go for what is good for me. It's no selfishness. It's just a fact of life. It's especially hard, especially if you come from a society like I did in Kenya, Africa, where people think that, putting other people first, or as a woman, everybody else is supposed to come before you. And I always tell my clients, like, hey, I give them a test. Actually, they never even know that they're in this test. But when you decide to invest in yourself, when you decide to take up lessons or things that better you as an individual, you're actually saying yes to yourself. And not so many women are able to do that. Sometimes you might find that even as a woman, you can't even remember the last time you bought yourself something, and especially the intimate wear, our inner clothes and all that. We can be sometimes, if something happened and maybe we were stripped naked, you would really see. Let me even stop laughing at this, but you would see that some of us, I think the last time we ever bought our intimate clothes were years back. We remember that our kids don't have them, our husbands need some. But for you whenever you want to get that money from your pocket and buy something good for you, you're like, but no, it can wait. It's not a priority. So think about that. And this is not a question even of being in your 30s. It's for you even in your 40s, for you in your 50s. I'm telling you, I know that these are not things that are applicable just to people in their 20s and 30s, but it's for you as an individual, for you as a high achieving woman. Yeah. And these are the principles that I have been applying in my life. And last but not least, I hope this is number 5. Yes, it's number 5. And it has actually been very huge for me. What would that be? So, what is this last thing? It is that I value what I value, and it's okay. Let me just let that sink in. What is this one thing? Whereby I am my biggest advocate, I also have to learn about what am I advocating for. This is where self-awareness comes in. By the time you step into your 30s, it's very important that you know who you are as an individual. How can you be campaigning for something that you have no idea about? For me, I have done that. Netflix and chill is my happy space more than being in a 5-star restaurant eating whatever it is or trying to juggle chopsticks. Yes. So, what works for you? What doesn't? Do you like clubbing, or you're a person who feels like you're too overwhelmed by clubs? I know I was. And I actually came to embrace this in my 30s. In my 20s, I was like, I think that 20s you're supposed to be clubbing and going to the parties and all that. But I was never comfortable, but I didn't really know why. But in my 30s, I embraced that. And I told myself, you know what? I don't need to go to the club to feel cool, but I would love some nice jazz music or a live band somewhere and a glass of wine. And it comes even when it comes to dating. Knowing who you are is going to set you apart. I have some people say, no, I do not want somebody who drinks. For me, I take my glass of wine occasionally. So if you're not comfortable with that, fine. You just are not the person for me. So find out who you are as an individual, and that is what you call self-awareness. That is a non-negotiable. I always say it's a non-negotiable. I wish we knew about this even earlier on, because now the work that I do is actually helping women to go back to themselves, to rediscover themselves. They might have been living on this earth for the past 20, 30, 40, or 50 years, but they have no idea who they are. And I will leave you with this one thing. Right now, if you were to be asked, who are you? Aside from being a mom or whatever your career is, like for me, as an aligned love coach, apart from being Mr. Huffman's wife, apart from being Tanya's daughter, Deori's sister, a friend to many, who is Jacinta? Who is Jacinta? And I usually say, when you answer that question, you will see the world in 3D. So, who are you? Away from your career, your positions, whatever grades or degree or educational position you hold, who are you? Answer me that if you can. So until next time, don't forget to subscribe to this video, like it, and share it with somebody who needs to hear this. Like I've said, it's not just for 30s, it can be for 40s, for 50s, whatever, or wherever you are, whatever age you are. And please let us know some of the other lessons that maybe have become a game changer and you learn them in your 30s. And for my sisters or brothers who are in their 34s, tell me, how is 34 like? Is this the age where they say you wake up and you hear your back cracking? Should I prepare for that, or what should I prepare for? Anyway, until next time, bye bye, guys.